Welcome everybody, I'm your host Bryce Dolan and this is the Top Think Tanks Review. And with more rain in the forecast, officials in Oroville, California are scrambling to repair the Oroville Dam. With 180,000 people evacuated, they're left asking the question, who's to blame for the failing infrastructure, the state of California or the federal government? Well, according to the Brookings Institution, each year the federal government is responsible for about $9.8 billion or 35% of public spending on infrastructure linked to water resource management, such as dams, levees, lakes, and rivers. Now, by comparison, states and localities shell out nearly twice that amount, $18.3 billion or 65%, concentrating on operations and maintenance. Now, when considering other types of water infrastructure such as drinking water and wastewater facilities, the state and local role is even more significant, with up to 96% of public spending falling on their shoulders. Now, according to the Brookings Institution, the fact that most of the nation's dams are not federally owned or operated also points to the continued importance of regional action in this space. According to the most current data from the National Inventory of Dams, the federal government is the primary owner of only about 3.7% of the nation's nearly 90,000 dams, although many of these tend to be quite large in physical scope. Meanwhile, state and local governments own 7.3% and 20% of all dams, respectively. Now, the private sector, however, is the biggest by far, with 64.2%. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Oroville Dam is over 50 years old and way past repairs and upgrades. And look at the result. The federal government must step in and spend more money in these areas and not let state governments and localities and private owners left to manage these facilities, to manage this infrastructure. This is a perfect example of a disaster that could happen if this continues. Now, ladies and gentlemen, according to this article on the Brookings Institution website, there was a big building boom about half a century ago, about 50 years ago. So all these dams were built within the same decade. So they're all within a few years of each other. So a lot of this infrastructure is needing repairs or needing upgrades. So this is not a situation that could be ignored, because this could potentially be a very fatal and horrific situation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to take a look at this article yourself, you can get there by clicking on the link I've provided for you below in the description. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, that way you can get notified every time a new video is posted. Give our Facebook pages a like and follow us on Twitter. But that does it for your Top Think Tanks review. I was your host, Bryce Dolan.